We don't want them at all. There's also there's a lot of yeah, socialists are going to gain a little bit of support here, but I don't think it's that bad. The loss in the Veiled Creek marked a fundamental shift in Serbian society, and its culture was no exception. The absolute majority of Serbian males died in the war, and almost a quarter of its total population, while the few who remained had to return to burned homes, looted towns, abandoned farms, and broken dreams. To cope, many turned to art to express frustration and sorrow, and yet, the onset of Alexander II's royal dictatorship stymied the development of Serbian art and culture under heavy censorship. The Republican Revolution in 1925 let this pent-up energy loose, and the following decade left a mark on Serbian culture as a period of avant-garde art, literature, and cultural critique. Few movements were more extended in this period than Zentism, named after the art magazine Zentin. I've lost my place. Okay, founded by Lojimir, Ivan, and Bosko, the published articles of modern society, art reviews, and cultural publications. While contributors to the magazine are numerous, a common strand of anti-war, anti-nationalist, and anti-capitalist thought runs through it all. And above them all, the modern Western society. Well, as the reason why Serbia suffered so much, Mimic and associates ponder in the pages of Zenit, it was because Serbia, having chosen to abandon its unique Balkan spirit and communal, peaceful culture, sold its soul to greater European civilization and a cold, heartless machine to modern capitalism. The machine gave the modern tools of war to Serbia, which she killed itself. Some degrade Zentism as anarcho-primitivist, pointing out that Scotch's critique of modern technology and its lifeless lifestyle. So they're basically full and-prim. Let's go. The new Kaiserreich last days of the Reichspakt. I mean, I like bonus industry. Give me some more civilian factories. I personally like the event heavy mods. Like I'm okay with the events. I like the events. I like the flavor that they provide. It's just when they pop up with 4 different events at the exact same time. It gets a little bit much. I think the New Order is better at this. They're better at pacing the events a little bit more. Constitution in the countryside. 3/4 of the Serbian adult population are engaged in agriculture, and the absolute majority of them are subsistence farmers, only barely growing enough food to support themselves and their family. Their crisis has thus impacted these farmers severely. Many racked up debts in the months following the stock market crash and have lost most of their homes as a result. While they're struggling to make themselves with the little land they have, this made agrarian issues an important talk point in the election. Several parties have isolated as the frontrunners in a valuable farmer voting bloc. The Agrarian Party, run by Milan and Jovin, has originally represented the farmers' interests, but have yet escaped from their opposition. Republicans have traditionally been an urban-centered party, but many of their members have been building support blocks in the rural Ustin and Montenegro regions for the past decade. And finally, the social workers, with their program of radical land distribution, cannot wait to take advantage of the crisis. You know what? Let's go for conservative. 50 No Other Japan, which is a goddamn novel. I think the only time I tried playing as Japan, the mod broke. I think there's like an update or something midway through our campaign where like events just didn't fire. So unfortunately, we didn't really get too far in our Japanese playthrough that I did. I think at this point it would have been like 2 years ago. We also have a research slot available. We will go for you. Hello, Bulgarian Gargoyle. I mean, one military factory, one civilian factory, absolutely. We do have a lot of political power. What do I want to spend said political power on? Can't do anything here. Oh yeah, we can't change these laws because we're currently under all of our the threat of Austria. So you know what? Let's switch payment here, and let us spend some political power on getting some guns. Give me some artillery as well. It's a little expensive, but I do think it's probably worthwhile. Okay, decisions. We don't need to worry about you. Our manpower. Okay, our manpower is absolutely terrible. And we can update divisions, but we don't have any men right now. We can really use take advantage of that. Also, the what's? Oh, no, you're this. Okay, never mind. We're all good. We're all good. The green shirts. People's Radical Party, hoping to mobilize more support for their electoral campaign, have begun to form a uniform paramilitary and organization to serve as the party's arm in the countryside. These organizations, named after the green shirts after the uniforms, are the idea of Milan, the leader of the party, and are very clearly inspired by the success of the Iron Guard next door. Though they may seem odd for a liberal democratic party to copy the policies of the radical national populist movement, it is not illegal. Dragomir and the Serbian Republican Party now have to make a decision on how to respond to the radicals' militarization. Lose political power, they lose support. We'll just... Oh, don't worry. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's okay. Nothing bad could ever happen. We could... I was gonna say, we could use some steel. We're actually... That's actually a lot. Are we on... We are on free trade already. Well, you mostly... Well, we only... Well, no, we actually make a lot of chromium as well. You know, I think our plans right now are pretty good. Also, Mexico joined the Entente. Which, I mean... is fine. I don't think it's really going to be a big deal for us, at least. You require something in the future. Can't do anything there. When does That's Mexico. We don't care about Mexico. When do we do the things with the Belgrade Pact? We require you first. I believe this happens after the election? Never mind, it's what happened literally right now. Day of St. Vitus, or Vito Vinin in the Serbian language, is considered to be the most important date of the national identity of Serbia. It is at this day in 1389 that the medieval kingdom of Serbia defended its independence against the Ottoman Empire in the Battle of Kosovo, an event which forged the national myth of the Serbian people for centuries to come. Ever since 1918, however, the commemoration of the day has been silent and modest. It was a day when France Artur van Nerden was assassinated in Sarajevo, an act many Serbians cannot live past, for it has brought them so much destruction and loss. During the reign of Alexander II, a small monument was erected in Gobnatan to honor those who fell in battle, but the observation there remained small. 1936 is different. President Dragomir himself attended the observation in Gaziantep, drawing large mass of Serbs to visit the monument for the first time. There, to the thousands of his countrymen, he made a speech, and the language was shocking. For the first time since the end of the Village Decree, the leader of Serbia declared that with what they all experienced 20 years ago was a national humiliation. It robbed Serbia of an ancestral lands of the people of Nis in Macedonia, and Serbia must not rest until it finds a way to return them to Belgrade's fold. The heroes and the martyrs commemorated during Vivadan fought for a free and united Serbia. After all, the only way to honor their memory is to overthrow the shackles but holding Serbia back today. The speech was met with applause and patriotic chants. While Vinet's political opponents may announce this as electoral pandering, everyone can still tell this marks a sharp turn in the history of Serbia. That it will no longer abide by a treaty of Lotzold and forge an independent destiny instead. Okay. We've now finished this focus. When are you going to do another modern day mod? I don't really know. I mean, we could probably... What do you require us to do? Radicals gain support. We have to complete one of these focuses. You'll be done in a few days. I need just one quick second to find... Yes, just 1 second. 1 second. Okay. This here. We'll see how this works. I know that you can't yet, but that's okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we have 30 more days left on this focus here. You guys have a research slot available. What do you want to research? I mean, probably supply cap going up. Also, I didn't actually even check this. How is our supply lines looking? Oh, they're actually... we have one hub in Belgrade, and that's literally it. We do see 2 points in Bulgaria that we would like to capture as soon as possible when the war actually with them begins. But it probably would make sense to at least try to build a supply hub down here in Kosovo. How long will that take? February 38. You know what? That's actually way too long. So don't even build that. Well, you might... let's see. Because we have the supply hub here. You know what? I think we should be okay. The radical election strategy. The People's Radical Party is one of the oldest political parties in Serbia. Founded as a liberal reformist party in 1881, it defined Serbian politics before the Krieg, dominating the political scene under Prime Minister Zava and Nikola, championing moderate reforms. It's had a falling out with the monarchy immediately after the war ended, however, as King Alexander II personal distasteful for president led to his dismissal. The party moved to the opposition and finally to the underground. It reluctantly supported the Republican Revolution in 1925, and it stands as the more right-wing of the two main established parties in Serbia. The Radicals, led by Milan, are in a comfortable position. While the left is infighting, the right is still largely united, as the Radicals and the Agrarians still have a lot of shared ground. While moderate parties, like the Democratic State Party and the Royalist Radicals, are nothing to worry about. Should a stable, powerful right be maintained, only the Radicals may be able to form government once the election concludes. Okay, let's go for a full backing with the right. But let's have like a right-wing campaign. We don't usually go social conservative too often. I feel like social conservative is like one of the least common ideologies in the game. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's take a quick look. Ideology. I mean, there's a decent amount of social conservative. I mean, most of the world is actually just authoritarian. Yeah, you know, let's get that nice blue color. Also get this off the screen. So what was Russia doing? They're going with Dmitry Romanov. I think anything else really happening in the world that's too surprising? I mean, it's only July, so I wouldn't really expect anything too crazy to be happening right now. Other than, you know, Mexico National Populist, which definitely was not... Oh, they've actually left the Entente. Interesting, okay. That does mean that Mexico will probably remain fairly isolationist. Or troops. You know what? I'll get a few free units. The Salcom blue is nice. Yeah, it's a nice shade of blue. Yeah, but let's get some free units. We do need them due to our rather precarious situation. But if we were to, you know, play the modern day mod, I'm not too sure what country we would want to play. Okay, we got war in Germany's Asia. Nothing really too surprising there. Okay, we got Industry 1. You know, it might actually be worthwhile to import a single unit of steel. We'll import that from Russia. You know what? Give me Concentrated Industry 2. Give me the industry tax right away. Okay, Mongol aristocrats are taking over in Mongolia. I'm trying to think, like, who would be a good country to play? Because we played Germany. I think have we played Germany? Actually, I don't even remember. I know we played Russia. I know we played as Britain. I know we played as United States. I think we played Germany as well. Actually, I don't. We might not have. Maybe we'll play Germany. The Social Election Strategy. The Socialist Worker Party was founded in 1919 as a merger of the Social Democratic Party of Serbia, the Serbian trade union organizations, and the Montenegrin Socialists. And its ideology has since been left. Its syncretic mix of ideologies to the left of the establishment. Syndicalists, Marxist Socialists, Social Democrats, and Agrarian Socialists all found home in the party. It was banned by the Altana during Alexander II's regime, but continued operating on the underground. Supported the Republican Revolution and joined parliamentary politics as the leftmost legal party of the parliament. So the Burger Party has had to fight an uphill battle in the election. Even if they harness enough anti-Slavish rhetoric to secure plurality, they also have to worry about the possibility of the anti-socialist grand coalition between Republicans and radicals. Therefore, their goal is not just to grow their support, but to ensure that their allies on the left can outweigh the rightists. What shall their strategy be in this election? Let's go with a... Let's just go with the Vanguard party for now. How are our parties looking right now? I mean, the biggest by far is the Republicans. Play Italy and Red World. Is Red World still updated? I know we played Red World, I think, twice in channel's history. Oh, there's my 3 free units. Happy to see you. And we can do you. We need to finish the election. But then we can form the Belgrade Pact and push pretty quickly. Free trade with limited exports. New folks will be unlocked. You get 100 political power, which is okay. But I'm okay being free trade. I honestly think we prefer to be free trade than Okay, yes, let's just remove Black Monday. That seems like a pretty good choice. Because I know we played 2 Red World campaigns. We did one as Bernie Sanders going Nazbol, and we did one as... Was it Rick Perry? I mean, I think it was Rick Perry in the South, but I can't remember exactly. Okay, Belgium declares their independence. Hello, Belgium. What faction are you gonna join? Because I mean, we'll see if Germany invades you. Nazbol Sanders sounds pretty cursed. Well, it's definitely what happened. It's what happens in Red World if you go down the Bernie Sanders route. Is that he becomes a Nazbol. So it's wild. Okay, and the election of 36. Almost a year of campaigning and politicking has passed, and now the final step remains. Polling stations have been established across the country, and the votes have cast to determine the victor of the election. And it seems like the Republican, or not the Republicans, the oh yeah, the Lake Libya is wild in that mod. We will do the Congress of Belgrade right away. But what's wild to me about Libya is that it has it's got more provinces than like Germany and stuff. It's got a lot of it's got so many provinces. Yeah, the Congress of Belgrade. The cooperation of the Balkan nations against a common foe, despite their internal disagreements, is a path well trodden in history already. The Balkan League, formed between Serbia, Bulgaria, and Greece, to defeat the Ottoman Empire in the Balkans, was a prime example of that, even though it disintegrated into the Second Balkan War mere months after the victory. Today, Serbia, Romania, and Greece stare down against another hegemon, the Tsardom of Bulgaria, and each of them have territories to reclaim. For almost 2 decades, the thought of such an alliance occurred was unthinkable. The 3 Balkan states have been dismantled, weakened, disarmed, until the eye of great powers in Europe ever watchful. By the 1930s, however, the situation had changed conclusively. The ever-constant fragility of the Austro-Hungarian Empire and thus lacking will to intervene in the Balkans have already given the Balkan miners a chance to rearm, and now has given a chance for them to be planned together. Bipartisan summits and diplomatic talks have been taking place between Serbia and Romania since 1932, and Serbia and Greece since 1934. And it's all convoluted in the Congress of Belgrade. A 14-day summit in the capital of Serbia, it is a cultural event, as much a political one. Diplomatic planning between the foreign ministers of the 3 states takes place in parallel with a dialogue between the University of Belgrade and Bucharest regarding research institute exchange, for example. Regardless, by the end of the Congress, the delegation of the 3 states released a 14-point resolution, the most alarming of which was a recognition that only the self-determination of people according to their ethnic alliances may be considered a just pact to sovereignty and territorial claim. A call for a new order in the Balkans to implement this principle, presumably at Bulgaria's expense. Cyan Red World? Did they have any content? I'm gonna go with more rifles. And then we're gonna switch back to just what's yeah, 13%. 13%, we can take a 2% hit here. And what are our guns looking like? We have 6.4 thousand rifles. Maybe we didn't even need to spend the 60 political power on that. Honestly, it might not have even been worth it. Okay, invite Greece. Beautiful. Invite Romania. You love to see it. Got advanced machine tools.